Well, that's a cool story.
Yeah.
S-
Cool story, Hansel.
I'm
Cool
so
story.
excited for this bit.
Um, so your fucking Miller's coming in like
Yeah, 10 days.
10 days. You guys locked in?
Yeah, we're fine. We're good.
You don't feel like you guys are a little panicky?
No, I think we're just like, maybe we're overly confident because we've done this before. And it's not that long ago that we did. I don't know. I think so much of the stress with the first kid is it's all going to be new. You have no idea what you're doing. You have a million friends telling you different bits of advice. And then it's like your brain goes blank because you're thrust into like a stressful situation and you just kind of like figure it out on the fly. And we came out of it. I feel like we crushed it.
I
So
mean, Henry is what, 2?
yeah, 2 and 4 months,
Yeah. I'm glad that you didn't go to the 26 months old.
28 months, or yeah.
Ugh.
No, I think after two, you start rounding down or up. Like if he was like 2 and 2 months, I would just say he's two. If he was like next month, I'll probably say he's 2.5.
Yeah, I was like, where's the cutoff?
Yeah, I'll probably
2 and
start rounding to 2.5 pretty soon here.
yeah, I mean, from talking to the people in the clinic, they said the jump from 1 to 2 is actually the hardest. The jump from 2 to 3 is like whatever. I think by the time you get to 3, you're so beat down.
Yeah,
Like
you
your
just
will
like
to live is
just
just
gone.
like,
Yeah,
fuck it. I don't care.
you just surrender.
Yeah, you just
The
surrendered.
ego has completely dissipated.
You surrender to the ether,
Yeah,
to the universe.
even with like 3 and 4 kids, like ayahuasca does nothing to them. It's
what
just I already
what
lost ego.
there's what what is always surprising to me is the parents that like to complain about how hard their lives are, and I always think to myself, like, did somebody put a fucking gun to your head to have these kids?
Yeah,
You like
there's that
you
shack.
chose to do this. At some point you made a decision. You were like,
Right,
we're going to do this.
right. Yeah, Shaq has a story about his dad who like played poorly in a game, and I guess he blamed it on like the pressure or stress or something like that. I guess it pissed his dad off because he told Shaq to like show up at the house like really early, and they drove pretty far underneath like an overpass, and they just waited there, and wasn't sure why. And then like little like flashlight turns on, people start coming out of a tent, like dad, mom, there was like some kids. He's like, that's pressure. He goes, you have no pressure. He's like, if you play like shit in a game, you're still getting a paycheck. Like, grow the fuck up, basically. And it said it like it changed his whole trajectory after
Wait,
that
this was
moment.
when he was in high school?
This was like early NBA.
Oh, early NBA, and Shaq was complaining about it?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, he was complaining about the pressure. And I guess that's what he blamed his bad like a bad game on. And his dad kind of shaped him up real fast.
I mean, he was an all-star. He like takes him to a fucking underpass and just waiting for homeless people to come out of a
I guess. I
tent.
mean, I, yeah, it's kind of a wild story. I just remember seeing Shaq talk about it.
On what? On TNT?
It was like on a podcast, I think.
I'm gonna need you to corroborate this story. I need the
Okay,
credentials.
we'll add it to our other fact check part two.
Yeah, Fat Check Part 2. Um, this is Dr. Blake Wu, and
This is Coach
I
Eric.
do stuff. We're still
Well, you paused too long, so I thought you were throwing it back to me.
no. This is Dr. Wu, and I am the owner of the Sports Pod, owner operator of the Sports Pod. I've been doing this for 16 years,
You're doing the bit. You're adding one.
and I specialize in sports medicine and movement and all of the things that, honestly, everything that is sports related,
Yeah.
I can basically fix, or I will at least have an opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is
This is Coach Eric, and I've been in the physical fitness, functional fitness uh, world for over 15 years as well. Owned my own gym for a long time. So I've been coaching athletes for almost 2 decades. And yeah, my focus is strength conditioning, biomechanics, and all things that are nerdy.
And this is
Cast,
SPCAST.
cast, cast.
Cast.
You need like a cool riff. We'll just throw in the wah.
And we're in.
Was that it? Was that the
That's our intro music. That could be our other bit, is like we could just be riffing.
we just
We
go
could just be,
acapella?
you know what? We should just be air guitaring. You could be air drumming.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then we could just go right into the episode.
I like that.
Yeah, we have, guess what? We don't have
We are
overlords yet.
multi-talented.
We have full
No.
creative
Yeah.
decision making
There's nothing
here
holding us back.
at SPCAS. Yeah, we got to take a little bit more risks.
Yeah, we're like Katy Perry in the Blue Origin. We're just space is the limit.
Are you an astronaut?
I think my favorite meme was the one that's like the astronauts that were stuck in space for like a year watching Katy Perry land and like kiss the ground.
Kiss the ground after 11 minutes. Have you noticed that there has been a lot of chatter that it was basically fake?
Yeah, there's always people that think shit is fake. It's
Fake
like the
news.
most common conspiracy theory.
Do you think it was fake news?
No.
I don't really understand why. I know we're adding banter to after the banter portion. This is, if Brooke was here, she could get us back on
track.
back on track. But I'm just like more.
Yeah.
I am just more curious. Like, why did they choose those particular people to go up in space for 11 minutes? Not even, like, were they up in there for
I
like
don't
2 minutes?
know. I mean, George Soros probably funded. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm going in on the bit. But like, yeah, there's always conspiracy theories. I have no idea why they chose that group. It seemed very odd. It seemed very tone deaf.
Yeah, like why? Like, how does Jeff Bezos in a meeting, like, okay, we have our first spaceship. You know who we should inaugurally just put up in space? Katy Perry.
Someone that like is universally hated.
Well, I'll go. So then the
Like,
other
how do you not have your finger on the like? Have some 24-year-olds at your company and just poll them. Be like, hey, what would you think if we sent up Katy Perry? And they were like, are you fucking joking?
But why does everybody hate Katy Perry?
Because she's completely vapid.
Like, what do you mean?
There's like nothing going on up there.
Really?
She just says words. Have you ever listened to her like try to explain a concept?
No.
It's
I mean, Katy Perry is just not on my fucking radar, so I just.
Yeah, she's so annoying.
But she married Russell Brand for a while, and he's an interesting fellow.
Yeah, he's way too smart for her. That's probably why it didn't work out.
Okay. But then she's hot.
She was hot for a little
She's
bit.
still hot. What do you mean?
No, I feel like the older she gets, the more British in the face she looks.
What does that mean?
There's a look. I don't know how to explain it.
Are you watching a lot of Downton Abbey?
No.
Well, I don't really understand what a British looks like.
She looks like if the girl from The Last of Us was like an adult.
The girl from The Last of Us, whoever is, I think it's
casting.
Ellie, the main girl, it has the most punchable face. Like, you just want to punch it. No? Am I off on that?
Yeah. I don't know if you want to say that about a kid, but
hey, kids can be assholes too.
yeah. Yeah.
That's a kid. That actress looks like she's like 25.
What?
The main character
In Last of Us?
Yeah.
She looks that old?
Yeah.
I think she looks like 14, 13.
No, she looks like she's like 24,
We
25.
can't be talking about the same person. Or are you talking about like the actual actress?
Yeah.
Something Ramsey, Bella
Bella
Ramsey.
Ramsey, yeah. That's what I'm saying is like she has a punchable face.
Yeah,
Anyways, we're getting way off
we're
topic, and
so off topic.
it's clear
For
to
once, it
me
wasn't me.
yeah, no. But like you, I thought for sure you would have more information on The Last of Us. You're the fucking sci-fi nerd between the two of us, and you
I
play
mean, I
video
know
games.
she's got to be a kid because that was one of the reasons why people are getting so upset. Is everyone's been making fun of how she looks, and they're like, "Dude, it's a kid." Mean.
Is it? No. Okay, just
We're gonna do a live
give me
fact
2
check.
seconds. You know what? I have to fact check this.
I'm guessing she's under
Okay,
16.
which actually this is a good segue to so what we are doing is we're going to kind of go over some of our past episodes and fact check our shit. Okay, the lady's name is Ella Williams, and she was born in 2003. So that would make her 20 years old. Well, 22, 23. I was right. She looks like she's 23. I think the whole issue is that isn't that character supposed to be a kid?
Are you looking up the same person I'm thinking of? Let me look at.
Isabel May Ramsey. Look, this person.
She's 23.
Yes, she was born in 2003. She's 22.
21. Oh, so we can make fun of her now.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, she was the girl from Game of Thrones.
Yes.
She was the badass.
Yes.
She was cool in that.
She was good in that. I actually hate her in The Last of Us.
Lyanna Mormont.
She's kind of the worst in it. Anyways, so we're doing a fact check because we want to give you the right information, and we've caught ourselves saying things that are not fully correct. So
Yeah.
the one that comes to mind right off the bat that we said that we would come back to because we are people of our word is red dye 687 543 210. No, what is it? Red dye 76? No, red dye 50. But okay, if you're
That was red 3.
See, we were all fucking wrong. Red dye number 3,
Yeah.
which has in like because the news cycle is literally fucking 4-hour cycles now. That was like seemed like an eternity when RFK has banned that specific red dye into our food, which was mostly found in like Skittles and candy and other shit, but
artificial colors.
So
literally all because in some lab tests with like mice at like extremely high dosages, it was carcinogenic.
Okay, so that's the reason why RFK has banned it, because there is a link to rats essentially ingesting it.
But you'd have to take in so much, and there's no real way.
Have you seen kids just fucking hammer Skittles?
If there's an upper limit to Skittle intake, I've already found it, and I'm totally fine. So
until you have cancer.
If I get cancer, it'll be for a number of other things.
So is that the main reason why RFK banned it? He was just like, hey, this has been known to give cancer.
Yeah. There's just been a number of linked studies showing that it's oxidative and basically causes like unstable reactions in mice and cells, and that can lead to cancerous growth. So they extrapolated that, but there hasn't been a human study that shows any issue.
That's so interesting that RFK, like, that's one of the hills that he's willing to die on. I mean, there's so many other carcinogenic things. Carcinogenic there's so many
uniquely work.
carcinogenic uh, things out there nutritionally.
Yeah, that are like directly linked,
Yeah,
like
or I don't know,
cigarettes.
smoking
Yeah,
is one of them. Vaping, number two.
I think I think the overarching theme is there are a lot of ultra processed foods um, that are in American diets that aren't in other food around the world. So there are dyes and GMOs and different processed food additives that are unique to the U.S. And I guess his stance would be that the obesity epidemic, uh, the prevalence of you know ADHD, neurodivergence in Americans is just greatly higher than around the world, and so it's one of those issues where you run into like causation versus correlation. It's tough to like isolate a specific variable and tie it to it. But I guess his thought is like, let's try to clean up as a whole our food sourcing and see if that helps solve some of the issues.
Well,
So I mean, I agree. I don't think there's no harm in like getting things like that out of our diet. So I don't
yeah,
really see an issue.
I would wonder what else he has up his sleeve to, you know, what other things he's gonna cut. I mean, if his whole term as whatever, what is he, Secretary of Health or whatever, the one thing that he does is just like, I mean, I'm not going to touch the vaccine shit because it's such a hot topic. I mean, talk about if you want to get somebody riled up, just
Yeah, just mention vaccines.
bring up the V card. Because people, man, people are very
You're gonna bring back the bubonic plague.
oh my god.
It's both sides.
It's
Yeah,
both
it's
sides.
wild.
It's both sides. I don't have kids, so I'm not going to
Yeah, I mean,
wade into this.
I don't mind going down a little bit of that rabbit hole, but I mean, like we delayed Henry's schedule so
Yeah,
he
you
doesn't get
delayed
all of
it,
it.
but you didn't stop it.
We uh we we modified it and we skipped a couple that we just didn't see any risk. Like our whole thing is, I'm I'm not pro vaccine or anti vaccine. I'm pro individual person like
Choice. Yeah.
yeah. So like if you are looking at your risk analysis of anything, what's the risk of getting the disease you're protecting against? What are the outcomes for that disease? And do the risks of that vaccine for you outweigh the risks of getting the disease? And I think you should be able to weigh those options.
The
Yeah.
next thing on the fact check is alkalinic and acidic water.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't really understand why drinking more alkalinic water was supposed to be healthy for you, and like what were the
Yeah.
mechanisms in your body that allows you to digest a more alkalinic water, and
And
like
you know
what is it,
what?
yeah, and like what does that do to your body? Like why, I mean, I drink battery acid all the time,
You're
so
totally fine,
I'm
man.
totally
pH is
fine.
great. So I will say, like, we can pat ourselves on the shoulder because our the approach at which we were like wondering how that's possible, um, we were on the right track because there's really nothing showing that it would do anything because your kidneys regulate the pH in your body. So, I mean, even if you drink a ton of super high pH water, your kidneys are gonna kind of
Basically flush it
they're
out.
trying to regulate things to what like the optimal for your body to function.
Right.
Your body is like so many complex processes. Like there's a reason why you get a fever and your body heats up when you're fighting a cold.
Right.
The hotter you are, the faster cells move. So it's trying to kickstart a bunch of processes and fight whatever that antigen is. And so uh, to try to override those processes or think if you flush it with a bunch of one thing you're going to be able to kind of like change it is probably not really
So
likely.
we were kind of correct in the sense of your when you're ingesting any type of liquid, it's getting filtered through both your kidney and your liver. Isn't it going through your liver first?
Uh,
Because kidney is like kind of the, I mean,
Filtration.
it's not the last, but it's taking out a bunch of things so that you can excrete it.
Mm-hmm.
And but the liver also is our biggest filter
Yeah, there's why
in the
they
body.
check your liver enzymes.
Right. So that literally the alkalinity of the water doesn't necessarily matter what you're drinking.
Yeah, I think from what I researched, if anything, it affects things like in the real short term. Just like if you eat a bunch of really spicy pizza or
Uh-huh.
food, like your, esophagus can have a reaction to that spice, inflammation.
Right.
It can
Heartburn.
cause, the acidity that your stomach is using to break down the foods can bubble up. So like you're you're affecting the mix in
Yeah.
your stomach when you ingest those things. So it can help short term like that, but it's not like you're not changing your state to a more alkaline state.
So if you suffer from heartburn, it might actually have a benefit to drink
To be
very
drinking that.
alkalinic
Yeah.
water while you are eating because it might tamp down a little bit of your stomach acid, even though your stomach acid is quite
Strong. Yeah.
strong. Like
Which I
you,
made the joke earlier about like drinking whole milk when I eat spicy foods. Like I think it makes my stomach feel better. But
is it because the milk is more basic?
yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, I did have a ton of heartburn back in the day. You had heartburn earlier today or this
Yeah, I ate
week.
Chipotle and it fucked me up.
Yeah. I mean, I think we should also do an update on your diet as
My
of
diet's
late.
awesome, except the other day I was feeling really sorry for myself because I've been sick for like 5 fucking days with this sinus infection.
We had the Chipotle. We also had the Chick-fil-A.
That's all. Oh, and I had a breakfast sandwich yesterday morning.
I never get Uber Eats, and all of a sudden the Uber Eats guy.
It's because it's because Brooke has been really busy lately, and so she has been meal prepping. So it's really her
Oh,
fault.
it's her job to meal prep because she's a woman.
Yeah,
I'm gonna paint you
she's
in a
literally
corner
doing
here.
laundry right now. Hold my shirts, woman. She's gonna punch me later.
Okay, next topic. Resveratrol.
Resveratrol.
Resveratrol. We didn't. I mean, honestly, I have zero idea how did that even come up. What it was in the clinic. Somebody
Yeah,
talked
someone
about
in the
it.
clinic was asking us about it. It's been around for a while. As like it's one of the reasons why people said that like red wine can be good for you, and it's in like the skins of grapes and
Okay.
some Japanese mushrooms and some other random stuff. But basically, it's an antioxidant and antioxidant. Well, okay, so antioxidants, what they basically do is they help protect your body from free radicals, which create oxidative stress in the system. And to get kind of nerdy, free radical is basically a molecule with an unpaired electron. So the more you know. So yeah, you got an unpaired electron spin around your atom. It can pull an electron to pair it from another molecule, and so that causes an unstable situation.
Okay, so
So
that
that's like the process in the body you want to try to avoid. You want everything nice and paired up.
right. So then, yeah, God forbid you're a single radical out there
Yeah,
radicalizing your
I
body,
know. A bunch of
having fun.
MAGA molecules are going around.
So what is it that resveratrol actually does? It's the Rico Suave of molecules, and it attracts the
Yeah,
single.
just one of many like antioxidants that that you should be taking in through, whole food sources and that protect, that are held in the cells and help protect the cells from oxidative stress. But the issue with certain, it's a polyphenol is like the type of antioxidant group that it falls under. But the issue with some antioxidants is the bioavailability, meaning your body's ability to like
Absorb
it and utilize it is very, very low. So to date, there just haven't really been any strong studies to be able to say conclusively that you're really able to do much with it, because it breaks down very, very easily. So even the digestion of it reduces the bioavailability.
Yeah, but maybe you're not drinking alkalinic water.
Fair enough. Maybe I need to be drinking it with alkaline water. That's trick.
Why your stomach acid is rocking the resveratrol and just dissolving it, and then
I'll start drinking like 4 bottles of wine, and I'll tell you how I feel.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are some sources of resveratrol?
Mainly grapes.
Mainly grapes. What about cotton candy grapes?
I mean, I think it's all grape skins.
Okay. So eat
cotton candy grapes are very.
I mean, very I have Lorna basically peel my grapes, and I eat them one at a time. So,
Lorna, run.
Lorna, please peel these grapes before I ingest them.
Xerxes Wu just walks in on a chair, or like we're on her shoulder.
Okay, so basically mainly grapes, mainly wines.
Yeah.
But like, it's such a funny thing is like everything has its pros and cons. The alcohol probably outweighs.
I would say it outweighs the benefit of the small little micronutrient.
Yeah. Is there any supplement that we could take?
Yeah, they make a resveratrol supplement in pill form.
But
again, then like whenever you're taking in powders, like you're at the mercy of also this, your liver and kidneys and the way it.
It's also interesting because I've heard it in circles of using resveratrol to like anti-age, which I would assume because it's an antioxidant.
Correct.
It's getting those free
oxidative
radicals.
Stress is what ages you.
Yeah.
That's why.
No, I can tell you what ages you. Owning a business.
Yeah.
it ages you. Yeah. Okay, and then the last fact check that we have is insulin glucagon. You totally fucked that up.
Yeah.
In a very early episode, we were trying to figure out the sound and the video.
I was just all, mind bottled. Mine was in a bottle. Yeah. So I've always found that when I'm explaining a topic, the more I explain how things work together, the more on point I am. And we were just kind of going over quickly, semaglutides and, the role of certain hormones. And I just accidentally flip-flopped insulin and glucagon. So I think it would be beneficial to kind of explain the role of insulin and glucagon in managing your blood sugar. Would you like that?
I guess.
Okay. All right. So your body has a cool little organ called the pancreas. And when you're ingesting foods that raise your blood sugar, your body has a mechanism to regulate and keep blood sugar at a non-toxic level. Too high is bad, too low is bad.
Yeah, your body doesn't, and this is what happens with diabetics. Diabetics don't have a natural way. A type 1 means that you just never had a natural way of getting that sugar out of your bloodstream, because when you have way too much sugar in the bloodstream, your body like literally will shut down because it's like, this is not good for us. Mm-hmm. It might have something to do with the acidic and alkalinic of your blood.
Just eat more resveratrol, it'll be fine.
Drink wine if you're eating a Snickers. You'll be fine. Yeah, so it's actually very dangerous, right? Because everything in your body likes to stay at a homeostasis or a
Right.
balance. And if you jack something up way really high, there's usually a system that brings it
Yeah.
back down. Or if it goes too low, it brings your system back to a normal. So the pancreas is pushing out insulin
Yeah. And
to
insulin,
decrease your
sugar.
blood sugar because insulin is the Uber for sugar.
Yes. So it pulls it down.
Down.
And then glucagon does the reverse. It brings it back up. So
when your blood sugar is low and you haven't eaten for a while, or you have been fasting and you haven't had any type of food or any type of sugar in your
glucagon promotes the breakdown of glucose from other areas in the body, muscle glycogen.
So that's like the little what is I'm thinking of who are the people that go into to mine coal? What are they called? Coal miners.
I was just going to say miners.
Glucagon are little coal miners for sugar.
Yeah.
Like they're looking for glucagon, or not
Glucose.
glucagon. They're looking for glucose in your body. It could be stored in your liver. It could be stored in fat. It could be stored in.
Yeah, your body has a process called gluconeogenesis. It can pull it from.
Right. So they're the little coal miners in your body that are just like mining out the sugar to get you out of a very low, which if you're in a low blood sugar, you're going to feel super lethargic,
fatigued,
very fatigued, shaky. You feel like you might pass out. You might feel like you're getting dizzy.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's glucagon's job, is to be like, oh, we've gone way too low from our normal. Yeah. We're going to start mining the sugar out of your body and then put it back into the bloodstream so you don't fucking pass the fuck out.
Yeah. So that's glucagon and insulin. I just flip-flopped. I think I somehow I remember watching the video on editing and I was like, did I just say glucagon?
And so when diabetics take a shot, the reason why they're taking a shot is because their insulin levels are too high. And then when
their blood sugar levels are too high.
Yes. And then when diabetics feel like super woozy and they're like, oh man, I feel real bad. That's why they have to have like a orange juice or an apple juice or something that's real quick
to get them a little bit of
blood sugar, or else they'll literally go into a comatose because your body wants to shut down when it doesn't have any sugar. And remember, sugar's one of the main principles of sugars is to give you energy, and you need that to function. Your all of your organs need that to function, and that's you will for a diabetic, you will go into a diabetic coma. That's what that is you just don't have enough sugar in your body, and then that's when your body literally starts to shut down. And that's when that's like a real serious thing,
right?
Which reminds me, like, we should probably have fucking juice and some type of sugary stuff in the clinic. The only reason I don't is because I have a little 5-year-old child at the clinic
but
that
I
cannot
always keep car candy. We had a client a couple weeks ago. She got and I ran in my car. I had my car Skittles. They saved her life.
Yeah, I mean,
she thanked me for my.
But
Skittles.
if we should have it in the clinic. The issue is like I don't trust Eric not to fucking go completely through it.
Right. That's why I keep it in my car away from reach.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we should have like a diabetic little emergency kit in the clinic, just
like a hidden stash of like cookies.
Yeah. I mean, Elliot always has cookies in his office, so I could always just break into Elliot's office. Anyways, that concludes our fact check.
Yeah.
And if you feel like we got something wrong in one of our podcasts, then you can take it up with Eric, because he gives his personal phone number to basically everybody. So
I'm a man of the people.
You can text Eric and be like, hey, that last episode, you said X, X, Y, and Z, and that was wrong. Can you please fact check? And we're going to have more fact checks as we continue to do our episodes. I'm actually quite surprised that we've gotten this far. We're like 14 episodes in, 13, 12.
This is 14.
I thought I thought the stat is like if you've made it past 3 episodes, you're like better than 98% of the podcasts out
Really?
there. Yeah.
That's shocking. I thought people would at least make it to 10.
Yeah. No.
Look at us.
We're like
Who would have thought?
90 percentile, and we only have 3 followers still.
No, I think we have 11. I'll have to check.
We have 11 followers. If those 11 followers text Eric, because
they all have my number.
They
I'm sure.
probably all have your number. We will shout you out in an episode.
Start doing raffles.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, this concludes SPCAST and air guitar.